Have you ever heard of a serial killer who didn't just murder in cold blood, but then spent years sending cryptic ciphers and mocking letters to the police and newspapers, boasting about his crimes? A killer who, to this day, has never been identified. This is the terrifying true story of the Zodiac killer. Our story begins in the late 1960s, a time of supposed peace and love in California, but a dark shadow was creeping over the San Francisco Bay Area. A series of brutal attacks began, seemingly random and without motive. Young couples, often parked in secluded lovers' lanes, became the primary targets. They were ambushed, either shot or stabbed with savage ferocity. The public was gripped by fear. Who was this phantom attacker, and who would be next? The police confirmed at least 5 murders, but the true number could be much, much higher. Why? Because the killer himself started communicating. He sent a series of taunting letters to major newspapers, like the San Francisco Chronicle. In these letters, written with a chillingly calm and arrogant tone, he took credit for the murders and gave himself a name. The Zodiac. He didn't just confess. He reveled in the details. He claimed he wasn't responsible for 5 deaths, but a staggering. He wrote that he enjoyed killing because it was so much fun, more fun than hunting wild game in the forest. He even explained his twisted motive. He was collecting slaves for his afterlife. To prove he was the real killer, he included details about the crime scenes that only the perpetrator could know, and he began signing his letters with a distinctive crosshair symbol, a logo that would become synonymous with terror. But the letters were only part of his game. The Zodiac also sent a series of complex cryptograms, or ciphers, challenging the smartest minds in the world to decode them. He promised that one of them contained his true identity. The pressure was immense. Newspapers published the ciphers, and amateur and professional codebreakers alike worked frantically. One of the ciphers, the Z408, was famously cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife. The message inside wasn't a name, but more of the killer's insane ramblings about collecting slaves for the paradise of the afterlife. It was a terrifying glimpse into a deeply disturbed mind. But the other ciphers, including the infamous 340-character cipher, remained unsolved for decades. The 340 cipher was only cracked in 2020 by a team of private citizens. But again, it didn't reveal his name, and some of his codes remain unsolved to this day, a silent testament to his cunning. The police investigation was one of the largest in California's history. They followed thousands of leads and investigated hundreds of potential suspects. Survivors of his attacks, those who were lucky enough to escape with their lives, gave chilling descriptions of a man in a bizarre executioner-style loot. This haunting image only added to the mystery and the public's dread. Over the years, several key suspects emerged. The most famous was Arthur Leigh Allen. There was a lot of circumstantial evidence pointing to him. He owned a watch with a Zodiac symbol on it, he lived near one of the crime scenes, and a friend claimed Allen had confessed his desire to hunt people. But ultimately, his fingerprints and handwriting didn't match the evidence left by the Zodiac. He was a strong person of interest, but never officially charged. More recently, in 2021, an independent group of investigators called the Casebreakers made headlines by claiming to have identified the Zodiac as a man named Gary Francis Poe, who had passed away in 2018. They cited new forensic evidence and witnesses, but law enforcement agencies have remained skeptical and haven't confirmed their findings. The debate continues. And then, as suddenly as the attacks began, they stopped. The letters ceased in the mid-1970s. The Zodiac simply vanished. What happened to him? The theories are endless. Did he die of natural causes? Did he move away and continue his crimes elsewhere? Or was he perhaps arrested and imprisoned for an unrelated crime, taking his dark secret with him to the grave? The Zodiac killer case is a profound and unsettling mystery. He wasn't just a murderer. He was a master of psychological terror who played a deadly game with society and won. He turned the entire Bay Area into his personal chessboard and then walked away, leaving behind a legacy of fear, grief, and dozens of unanswered questions. He remains one of the most taunting and enigmatic serial killers in history. What do you think happened to him? Do you believe he was one of the known suspects? Or someone who completely slipped through the cracks? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you're fascinated by mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe for more.